let's skip down to TCAT. Charles, you wanna give us an update, then I'm gonna call on Nancy to give us an update. We had a meeting, this week, and so, we'll get an update on that here in a minute. Charles, what's going on at TCAT?
Well, I'm real excited about what Nancy's getting ready to tell us. That's what we've been working on for a long time. There's people in this room that's helped us with that, and I want to say, since I've got the floor, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the interest in our campus. We're going to try to live up to those expectations, I guess is the best way to put it. Looking very much forward to it. Our truck driving class has just graduated its largest class. We had 15 in this last class. I have 3 instructors, 2 trucks. We're working on getting another one. All of those individuals are going to work, and I'm very pleased with that. Of course, that's the bottom line. Our class that we're getting ready to start next week is going to be likewise. It's going to be a large class. I already have a full class in January, and I report that every time, and that's what we want to keep seeing. Had one of my instructors go to the American Truck Driving Conference that was held in Nashville last week, and it seems as though TCATs and institutions like ours are going to be the go-to for truck driver training, because FMCSA is really looking at the number of hours that drivers are getting, especially through these companies other than TCAT and some of the others that are really not acceptable when it comes to, putting people out on the road. But anyway, I don't know how to say that except just plain. So I'm very excited about that, because we do want to be the go-to place. We have developed a partnership with the TCAT down in Harriman, and so we are. I'm actually sending one of my examiner down there next week to test their students. So that's good. That'll get our name out there in that part of the state. So now that's what we're trying to do. And things like the meeting we had and what's going to be talked about here today, that's how we get attention. And so I want it out there. I really do. I want what we're doing out there, because that's how we get attention. And that's what, we don't do it just for that, but that helps our school, that helps our students, that helps our county, and I'm real glad for that. Our other classes are going right along. Our cosmetology class is full. We're getting ready to graduate some students. We're going to have a reverse job fair next month for them. Every employer that we talk to around the region, they're needing people to work in those shops. And if you think about it, each one of those individuals that go into a shop becomes basically a business owner, whether they're working for somebody or not. Next week, Liz Bennett has been at my school for the last 2 weeks. She'll finish up next week. I've got 20 students going through a small business class up there that she's conducting. I'm tickled with that. And my other classes are just kind of moving along. My welding, we have a brand new instructor in the welding shop. Really done a lot of work in there here lately. And so that makes this expansion that Nancy's going to talk about even more exciting, because we've got somebody in there now that can get the job done with their students, as far as teaching and all like that. So that's about all I've got. If anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
I'm going to call on Nancy to give a report. We had a meeting back a few months ago.
A year ago. It's been a year.
It's been a year?
Yes.
Yeah.
We were surprised ourselves.
But now this meeting, go ahead and give us an
Well,
update on what
we met about a year ago with several people from the state. Gary Hicks was kind enough to bring up some people, and we did a walk through the TCAT. We hadn't had a lot improved in the TCAT since it was actually opened. I just want to brag on Charles just a little bit. We have a wonderful director up there, and and the things he has done and made do with what he had and built the TCAT up the way he has just been phenomenal. So we, anticipating all these new companies coming in, realized that we really need to get busy on making sure that we've got a trained workforce for this for the companies that are coming in, and that we're training people in our own community at our own TCAT. We're being a little selfish here, but train them there so that they don't go out to another community and make the connections there and take a job somewhere else. We're hoping if we get them trained at our own TCAT and we offer the courses and curriculum they need, that they'll stay with us in Hawkins County. And you know, we're a prime site sitting right up there in the middle of the industrial park. So what we did, we met with them back in November of last year, and they came through, did a walkthrough, and we suggested some improvements, and they suggested some improvements. They talked to Charles to see what he felt like that would be best for the TCAT. So, and I guess we didn't think it was moving quite fast enough, so we had another meeting. We contacted Mr. Hicks again, Representative Hicks, and so he agreed that we should have seen some results a little quicker. And so he invited the, and I love this lady's title, Director, she's the Chancellor of the Tennessee Board of Regents, Flora Tidings. And she came up and brought 7 of her staff members with her. And we did another look around the campus, and we had a list of all the things that we had discussed at the previous meeting and just asked for an update of to where we were at on those. And we were very pleased to discover that they were actually working on a lot of the stuff. You know, I guess we were wanting results a little quicker, but anyway, they had put some plans together, and some of the plans included paving the parking lot for the truck driving school, to build classrooms down there, to expand the welding, to expand the HVAC, do some work on the cosmetology, and work on some of the classrooms. Because one of the things that we have discovered is that, you know, we've got, like, once again, we're sitting right in the middle of the industrial park, but it was hard for us to offer classes for certification for truck driving, OSHA, other safety programs that they need. Even some of them want to promote within, and they needed to do some classes for the instructors or the people that they wanted to promote up. So we looked at all those things, made a list of all of them, and so when the chancellor came up, we had our sheet of paper ready and talked to her, and they had put some preliminary plans together. So now they're kind of starting over. They're going to expand, continue to expand the welding class. They're looking at doing some other things for the cosmetology program, with the HVAC program, the truck driving school. Like he said, we're going to get the parking lot paved. Probably going to be a prototype for the state of Tennessee by putting the classrooms. They're going to put a bay there and make it, for those who are not aware, why we're excited about this, what Charles was having to do was the students were having to drive down and sit in their car while the other people were being taught. And so, you know, that's just not conducive to good learning. So we asked for a building down there that had classrooms. So they're gonna do that and have the classrooms ready, have the instructors down there. They're also going to do, we hadn't really counted on getting this one, but we had healthcare on our list. And so while we were sitting in there brainstorming, they decided that the cafeteria would make a good lab, and maybe we could go ahead and do a nursing school and some things there. They're going to do some additional classrooms, do some upgrades to the infrastructure of the building, the water, the exhaust system, and all things that just stuff that needed to be done and had been neglected. I threw in some furniture and some software. So, I was telling Rebecca, I was sitting there watching the chancellor on the agenda that we gave her, and I said, I don't know what else she wrote down that we said, but there was not a space on her paper that didn't have some kind of suggestion on it. And the really good news about this is that we've been kind of playing with this now for over a year, and she said her goal was to get it completed in January of 27. So if we can get all these expansions done, and we also told her we had 20 other acres, we'd be happy if she wanted to add anything to that 20 acres. And so she didn't realize we had that much land available, and they were gonna look into some other possibilities there. So great news, great job for Charles that he's done, for them to come up and help us out as much as they can, and in return, what we're gonna get is a great opportunity to train our own workforce, keep them at home. We did get a telephone number too.
Yeah, I'd say.
We've never had a telephone directly into our facility. It had to go through Morristown and then connect, and then sometimes it got through and sometimes it didn't. And so she said she would make sure that we had a direct line into the TCAT. And we're still working on getting the website, but all good news. And our little pet peeve was on our trucks. It said Morristown TCAT. So they did put another little logo on there that said Hawkins County TCAT. So anyway, it's little things, but just like he said, the more recognition we get, the more people are going to be aware of what we've got here right in our own community and bring those students to the school. And as Seth's doing all the stuff that he's doing with CTE, you know, I think we can continue to build on what we've got. So.
Great report. That, we want to give all the praise that we can to Gary Hicks, since he does sit on and chair of the committee that holds the purse strings. I think that's, like I say, this, I don't know what year it was, but back when this thing was first formed and we set aside that property up there, decided we wanted a TCAT up there, we've been fought by the folks in Morristown tooth and toenail since day one, and we've been able to get it done. And so I think the lady that runs the school over there now has been much more cooperative than those in the past. And like I say, with Gary's help, we've been able to get the chancellor up here now 2 or 3 times. And things are going great. And we've got the dates now that we can get some stuff done, and hopefully they move a lot quicker than the Tennessee Department of Transportation does on highways, that's for sure.
Larry, I would like to say Charles has a lot to do with this too.
Yes.
If it was for him getting where he's almost has 100% placement rate in these kids with long waiting lists, they probably wouldn't be taking a look at the school at all. But when they see such an interest and such success, that's what's saying if they're worth investing the money in it. They see it's a worthwhile investment. Yeah, that's due to a lot of what Charles has done to build all that up. He deserves as much credit as Gary does too.
That's for sure. He's, you know, and we've had really good folks up there. They never could get the attention of anybody. And so certainly Charles and Nancy and our state representative has just been paramount in getting all these things done on a timely basis.